I love talking, but I was very nervous and very scared, so bear with me. So what's my story today? How many of us here came from another country, born in a different country, and then you had to come over, had immigration issues? Yeah? Had to renew your visa and stuff like that? Okay, so that was my story. Born in Ghana, partially raised up in Ghana, and also here. I'm very honored to be here. So 2004, I was excited. I was looking forward to going to university to do my degree, make my parents proud. I started, and then about 6 months into my studies, I was told, well, we don't know what your status is. We don't know whether you're a home student or an international student. And so at that time, I had just turned 18, and so I couldn't come under my parents' status, and I had to apply for my own visa. This was supposed to take about 6 months. It took 2 years, and so I had to defer from uni and come and stay at home. And for 2 years, I wasn't doing anything. I couldn't work, I couldn't do anything. So usually, every day just to me seemed like the same day. Sometimes you wake up, you're so down, you don't want to shower, you don't want to get out of your pajamas, nothing. And for the first time, I found myself going through a depression. Most people that know me, I'm very loud, very bubbly, and I was just seeing myself going through at that moment, and I didn't know how to control myself. So in that moment, I was also in a relationship, and after 2 years, I got a visa, and I was excited. I was going back to uni. But then when I called into the uni, they told me, "I'm sorry, we can't find you on our system." I had already started uni, been a student for 6 months, had my card and everything, and they couldn't find me on the system. And so they asked me to come back the following year. And that would have been 3 years of staying at home. I thought, no, that can't happen. Because by the time I'm starting, all my friends and everyone would have been leaving uni, and I can't do that. And then I became very aggressive. I'm like, no, I'm going to have to go back to uni. So, I forced myself. I called them, I'm going to come and sleep in your office if I have to, but you need to get me back in there. God being faithful, I was able to get in there. So I was looking forward to it, and then came a bomb. How many of us here have done something that you weren't so proud of? Something so bad you couldn't actually tell people around you. When you do something, you think, how the hell did I manage to do that to myself? Anyone here? Yeah? Good, I'm not the only person. So now, I've been waiting at home for 2 years to go to uni and do my parents proud. And just before I went in there, I found myself pregnant, and I thought, oh crap. Now what do I do? Do I stay at home and go through this whole pregnancy and not go to uni, or do I go to uni? I was torn between the two, but for me, at the time, I thought it was right for me to get rid of the baby. Because I was like, no, I've been through too much to leave this opportunity. And then I didn't also want to find myself in a situation where I had to shift the responsibility of being a parent to my mom, who has done the best that she can with us, and it's not her responsibility to take care of my child. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to uni, because I've always wanted to go to uni, so I'm going to have to do that. So I got rid of the baby. So be careful when you're in your dark moments, because sometimes some of the things you do to yourself will come back and haunt you. So just be careful about that. So I finished uni, I started working, and in 2010, I was working in the place, and I thought, if I grow myself here, I really want to go into the city. Applied for a job, got a job and everything, and then maybe a day before I started, they called me and said, you know what, your visa, you got about 3 months left on your visa, and we can't guarantee your visa will be renewed, so you're going to have to hold on a bit to start, because we're still waiting on the Home Office to give you a clearance. I said, okay. But then, I bought my new clothes, and, I got myself a car and everything. I was really excited, new beginning. And then maybe about 2 weeks later, they called me back, and then they sent me the startup pack and everything. So, I was like, okay, it's not so bad. And then again, a day before I started, they called me and said, we haven't received whatever we're looking for from the Home Office. And because this was the last time we're getting new entrants in, unfortunately, we can't take you in. And so I went from being employed straight to being unemployed, have a car insurance and everything to pay, and then I didn't know what to do with myself. And for another 2 years, My life was on standstill, waiting for the Home Office to make a decision on my case. And again, I was hit with a depression. But this time was quite strange because it got so dark that I became suicidal. And I felt like my life had no meaning, and I felt like I was a burden on my family, and there was no point me being around. And sometimes, when you have people, loved ones around you, parents and stuff like that, sometimes you have people around you that are going through things, and sometimes you feel, because when you're going through your dark moment, you kind of reserve yourself. And sometimes people think that, let's just leave that person. And sometimes you just need to know what, go around them and find out what can we do to help you. Anyway, that evening, my mind was being battered with all kinds of thoughts, and all of a sudden I felt like going to the loo. And we have 2 loos in our house, but I felt like going to the one downstairs. Because the downstairs one was the one closest to the kitchen, because the thought had already been processing in my head to go and pick up a knife and stab myself and kill myself. So I felt to go to the toilet downstairs and then make my way into the kitchen. And that evening, I don't know how I slept, but the next thing I knew, it was morning. Now my story is this. When I came out of that experience, I said to myself, how did I get to this place? Belinda, the one that is always laughing, the peacemaker, always putting people together, how did I actually find myself at this place where I really wanted to get rid of myself? I really felt my life had no meaning and I needed to kill myself. But God is so amazing. I'm a Christian, so I normally talk from a Christian perspective. Or, if you want to say the universe, it's so amazing because sometimes some of your biggest challenges, that's where your diamond, that's where your biggest blessing is. Because when I came out of that experience, I started asking myself, what is life all about? What am I here for? And that's what helped me onto my journey of personal development, because I didn't even know that existed at all. So the more I start questioning, I will be on YouTube at work, and I'll randomly come across Wayne Dyer on I Am, meditation and all these things, and all these things. I was like, wow, this is a totally new world. But for me, what the experience taught me is that it allowed me to see the strength that I didn't actually think I had. And it also allowed me to step into the place where I wasn't judgmental. Because before, if I heard that someone had committed an abortion or done something like that, I'd go, whoa, you did what? And then to actually find myself in that situation, I thought, you know what? Sometimes some of the decisions that people make, usually they're not even thinking about themselves at all. They're thinking about their loved ones. They're thinking, I don't want that disgrace on my family. I don't want, my partner have to bear that, the consequence of my actions and stuff like that, And for me, it helped me to be able to find the strength that laid in my story. Because when I came out of that experience, I remember one evening I was sitting in my living room and I said to myself, you know what? I'm sure there are young people going through this experience. And for some of them, they think that, there's no hope for them. They can't rid themselves away of their mistake. They become their mistake. And I said to myself that one day I'm going to stand on a stage and I'm going to share my story for them to know that, it's okay to make a mistake because you're trying to figure out life and your mistake doesn't define you. And I didn't even know in that would be the birthing of my talk show, which is Lady Belin Show, and it's finding strength in your story, because I really truly believe that every single one of us here, as long as you're living life, you are going to go through some crap. Life is really going to beat you down at some point. But it's not about lying down, it's not about the experience, it's the lesson that experience wants to teach you. Life loves you so much that sometimes it hides that lesson that you need to learn to be that better person, so that when you get to your limelight, when you find your purpose, you'll be able to function and be effective at that. And for me, that came through the abortion, that came through the depression, because all of a sudden it gave me that wake-up call. So if you're sitting here and you're going through whatever situation that you're going through, if you've already been through challenges, it doesn't matter how bad it is, you need to just pull yourself back and go back into that experience, because I realized that vulnerability is the most powerful thing. Go back into that experience, feel that pain, But in that experience, it's a great strength that you need to connect to, because you need that to help you to propel yourself and launch into your next level. So I'm Lady Belin, and I thank you so much for giving me the platform.